Here we are in the middle of the election season now. It is really starting to ramp up. Voters going to make some really big decisions. The biggest decision of all, of course, is that governor's race, and it starts with the primary election. And it'll be a packed stage tonight with 4 candidates. So one of the biggest challenges tonight could be fighting for some airtime on that stage. And here they are, businessmen Ken Maselli and Scott Neely, along with current Congressmen Andy Biggs and David Schweikert. And I want to now focus on those 2 current elected officials who are getting the most attention and who are expected to get most of the votes. Now, first, you got Andy Biggs. He's considered the front runner because he's got the money, and more importantly, he's got the endorsement of President Donald Trump. And then there's David Schweikert. He's got a long history of winning tough races. His problem right now appears to be money. Biggs has more than $1 million in the bank at last check, and Schweikert, on the other hand, had just about $86,000 and some change. Now, both Biggs and Schweikert have long records of voting for conservative issues like taxes and less business regulation. So no big policy differences between the two. So, you'll be expected to see this maybe get a little more personal tonight on the stage.
And you had mentioned that Biggs has the endorsement of Trump. How much weight does that carry?
Yeah, that is a really big thing. We've seen that how important it is here in Arizona. That endorsement brings a whole lot of money and a whole lot of attention. Already this year, we've seen the effects in other races where candidates have actually dropped out because they didn't get the president's backing. Now, but Schweikert has been actually trying to use that endorsement against Biggs. Now, it all comes down to a question of electability. While the Trump candidates clean up in these Republican primaries, they have a terrible record so far in the general elections. But that is a very hard argument to make to these primary voters. By all accounts, Trump is still very popular with these Republican voters who will be voting in these primaries.
Schweikert and Biggs have been congressmen for many years here, so they have high name recognition. Is there a chance at all for the other candidates who have lower name recognition to have a breakout moment?
And that's always like one of the big questions here right now because, a breakout moment, you're trying to get some attention. And the favorite right now to win this nomination is Andy Biggs. So the other 3 candidates are going to be looking for that breakout moment, that moment they think they can use to score some political points and get some of that attention. We know Schweikert has been going after Biggs' record, for example, accusing the Mesa lawmaker of having ties with white supremacists. I'd expect that Schweikert is going to continue with some of that tonight during the debate. But the problem, again, comes back to money. Schweikert doesn't have a lot of it. So even if he gets the moment that he's looking for, does Schweikert have the cash to actually tell the voters about it, guys?
There was a lot of name calling in the last debate we saw between the candidates for Attorney General, the GOP candidates for that. This is likely to get personal tonight, especially if he brings up those accusations, but likely not what we saw the last one devolve into.
And I think that's a big question. How does Biggs handle that? Because by all accounts, from what I'm hearing, he's going to try to present himself as kind of above that. We've already seen his campaign trying to move on, go beyond his primary. He's already been attacking the governor. He does not want to get into a mud fight with these other 2, like the AG's race. Now, that race is actually kind of close, so you saw that real personal back and forth. Got to see, and I'm really interested to see if Biggs handles that, because I would expect that one, or if not all 3 of these challengers are going to go after him pretty hard tonight.
Well, those actions speak to the words.
You'll be back with a highlight set 8 o'clock.
Will do.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Dennis.